Got it.
And we're on.
Dude, it's too messy on the table.
It is. It's so bad. Don't towel. Where's your towel?
Come on, dude.
Welcome back to the Calvin TJ podcast where, oh my god.
Sabrina did a good job.
What are you doing here, mate?
I mean, I don't
What?
know, dude.
Who? Huh?
Hey, actually-
I'm confused right now.
Actually, Sabrina did a good job because I would have done much worse on that topic. I don't know any
Why?
conspiracy theories.
Really?
I have none.
I mean, to be honest, like, it was kind of unorganized, but I had a great time doing it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that one was hard to do. I kind of want to do a part 2 at one point. I mean, I know I 100% want to do a part 2. It's just a matter of when we're actually going to do that.
You gotta let me do some researches first, brother.
That is very true. Before we kick off this podcast, excuse the mess all over the table. It's bad. I know.
TJ's
I'm
trying
sorry.
To be healthy. Look at him. He's eating fruits. He usually doesn't eat fruits.
Hey, I'm healthy, all right? I want to say thank you to Tuna Crate for being a very proud sponsor of our podcast. You can use the code HUNT and save 20% off a new subscription.
Hey,
whoa,
hey,
dog.
just a good dad hat, you know.
You look handsome.
Oh.
You look great. You can use that code. And guess what, bros? Hunt & Company is this month's sponsor of Tuna Crate. So if you want limited merch from that, you have to subscribe to that monthly subscription, and you get some mad stuff, including new hats, T-shirts, posters, pins, stickers. There's some nice quality memes, bros. Also, I want to say thank you to Movement Watches. You can use the code TJ10 and save yourself 10%. I always am wearing these watches. They're great. They're cheap. They're affordable. It's what you want in a watch. Also, Bros Hunt Company is now on their June 1st drop. So if you want these awesome, very cool T-shirts that me and Calvin are both wearing,
in the future. We're in the future. Well,
we are in the future. But
dude.
check it out. Hunt Company has new stuff. Be sure to check it out before it sells out. Now, time to get to the memes, Cal.
Dude, we have so many boxes.
We have a lot of boxes. I know, dog. It's dirty, but this is like your podcast right now.
This is mine. Oh,
I mean, like
today, I spent way too many hours looking up this topic, okay? Dreaming, okay? Fucking yes. Finally, I got to talk about this because I'm going to go on for like 2 hours. Good luck, everyone. TJ, do you record your dreams? That's
I don't.
step number 1, guys.
Absolutely not. I mean,
where should we begin?
We've been into this. I mean, first explain to them what lucid dreaming is.
Okay.
Because I'll explain why I've tried and failed and why I can't. But
okay.
If you don't know, let them know.
For all of you who don't know what lucid dreaming is, it's where dreams cannot be distinguished between real life and reality. It is so real that when you wake up, you mistake them for memories. It's insane. So there some lucid dreaming 101, okay? Shout out to that channel, Lucid Dreaming 101. The first step to lucid dreaming is record your dreams. Write them down. Writing is better than typing, but if you could type, that's fucking fine. You need to dedicate. So the problem for those who wonder why they can't remember their dreams. Dreams are stored by default into short-term memory. And as soon as it goes in, 5 minutes later, it dumps out. What you need to do is begin recording your dreams so it goes from short-term to long-term memory. And also, by doing that, you begin to recognize you dream more often than you think. Like, more than 5 seconds. My dreams, it feels like it. I don't want to sound like an asshole. It's exactly like Inception. 20 minutes is 1 minute in real life. I've had a dream that felt like I was there for 2 hours, but only 10 minutes have elapsed. I'm not kidding. Like, dreaming is my fucking thing. Like, TJ's always asking me, hey, do you want to go out and eat food? I'm like, no, I'm going to go sleep. Because, bruh,
it's pretty.
I'm dreaming. He doesn't believe me. He doesn't believe me that I do this.
Hey, I want to believe. I've never gotten to that point.
It's because you're afraid.
Yeah, I would argue. I mean, let me tell you why.
Okay.
And you will be able to elaborate more on this than I will. But there's this thing. I don't know if I heard about this thing before it happened to me, but let me explain. One morning, I'm like sleeping, and this has happened probably like 2 or 3 times in my life that I can remember. And I was sleeping, and I mentally woke up, and I go to open my eyes, and bruh, I can't. I'm awake in my head. I'm like, oh, like I'm ready to wake up now, and I'm like, I try and fucking move, and I can't. I can't. For the life of me, I'm tearing up right now because it was bringing back emotions. For the life of me, fuck, I can't move. I can't move my hands. I can't I'm paralyzed. And I think I remember after that happened, I mean, obviously you wake up at one point, but it feels like you can't breathe. It feels like you can't move. Okay. You're just like stuck in your mind. You're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what the fuck's happening? And eventually like you shake out of it after like what seems like an hour. It's like probably like 5 seconds, but it's scary as hell. And I think I hit you up immediately after. I was like, dude, like, oh my God, like I think I just had like sleep paralysis. And you're like, I described it to you and you were like, that was it. And you're like, I think you were like, dude, that's fucking tight. And I was like, nah, I'm about to cry right now.
That's like, okay. So throughout time, like I'll use the examples that I learned about our beginning, like Puritan beginning. So people would describe sleep paralysis as like a demon holding on to you. Like you can't move, but you're awake and the devil's got you. Like, but
it's pretty terrifying.
It is pretty terrifying because you have no control and everything. But in reality, everything is just rhythmic. If you paid attention, your breathing was rhythmic. Your body was still. So what sleep paralysis is what you actually need to do to get a good night's sleep. To get REM sleep, your body needs to stop moving. Because when you toss and turn, your body's still exhausted when you wake up, right? So sleep paralysis is kind of the goal, but I could see how it's terrifying. Like,
no, but I'm talking about like you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. I can't move.
You're not dying.
Well, like, you know what I'm saying.
No,
like,
I know what you're saying.
It's pretty shocking.
It is pretty shocking if you don't know what it is. But again, in reality, all it is I like to describe it as your brain and your nervous system and your body are neighbors. Your brain tells your body what to do, but they're not necessarily one. So your brain can fall asleep before your body. And if that happens, you toss and turn. But if your body falls asleep before your brain, you have a good night's rest, right? I learned all of this from a certain YouTube channel, and it's really interesting to look up because if you are interested, it's you learn truths, and you'll be surprised, and if you're curious, intrigued by the notion of these stages of things happening. Do you want to hear him teach? I think he's heard it before.
I have, but I remember when you were like telling me, this is like, I don't know, probably still in high school still. Mm-hmm. And you were like, first of all, I like wanted to give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And I'm hesitant at this point because I've already had the sleep paralysis shit, and I'm like, dude, like that shit was enough. Just like me, like welding with the TIG, and I got shocked. Like enough. Like I get a little scared of looking like what is a part of something, and I'm like, dude, fuck that. I don't want to get myself involved. It's kind of the same thing. I was like, sleep paralysis scared the fuck out of me. That's part of the process of like lucid dreaming and like being able to do whatever the fuck you want in your dreams. Like, yeah. I want to try that. And you, I remember you telling me like, okay, step 1, like you need to lay still on your back for like 10 minutes. I never got past that step because after about like 8 minutes or 7 minutes, like I like it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's fucking weird. And I feel things, and I'm like, okay, I don't know these feelings. They scare me. Like, why do I feel like this? I'm out. Okay, and I can't do it.
Okay. So, as TJ said, step 1 is to lay still, but there are things that happen during step 1. So, described by the community, it's like a lead blanket. You imagine a lead blanket being laid upon you from your toes to your head. Everything slowly becomes numb and one. Like you can no longer distinguish the difference between your digits. It becomes one blob, and then soon enough. You can't distinguish your torso between your arm. It's and then
freaky. It's freaky.
It's definitely freaky. So you lie there, you stay still, and there are two things you need to avoid doing is rolling over and breathing quickly. You can move your eyes, but that won't disturb the process because during REM sleep, it's called rapid eye movement. So that's fine. Your eyes are fine. So when you're lying there, you're going to feel the urge to move, which I'm sure everyone has felt that, but I'm going to give a name for it. It's called the rollover signal. So like I said before, your brain is not one with your body. So your brain is sending your body a rollover signal. You'll feel uncomfortable and you'll try to roll over. That's your brain checking if the body is asleep because your brain wants to fall asleep after the body has. To avoid this signal is excruciating sometimes. So sometimes it feels like someone's pinching your arm, right? You'll feel a pinch in your arm. And then it progressively gets worse. It feels like someone is taking an ice pick to your arm and driving it deeper and deeper. It hurts. It definitely hurts. Like no one's doing it, but your body, it fucking hurts. I'm telling you. If you try this, you'll notice it. And if it hurts too much, it's okay. Just roll over and try again because it doesn't hurt like that every time. And then your breathing is very important because if it's the only what's the word? Sympathetic, parasympathetic, involuntary and voluntary action that you could take. So if you're just sitting there not paying attention, you'll breathe. But if you're paying attention, you could breathe fast or slow. Remember this because it gets important when you're starting to like fucking have a panic attack.
That's what I'm really good at.
Yeah.
I'm great at that part.
So step 2, after your body has fallen asleep, and you'll know because of sleep paralysis, you won't be able to move your limbs, but you're still awake. At this point, you let your brain go to sleep, however which way. People usually recommend counting to like 100 or 200. If you start messing up, start over. And it's good that you're starting over because you're falling asleep. Make sense? And then after that, once your brain is near falling asleep, what you'll hear is a really loud fucking noise. So imagine, I like to describe it as a train. Like let's say, imagine you're standing on the edge of a train track and there's a train whizzing by your head, a couple inches away from your head. It's actually really loud. If you ever get to this part, TJ, it's interesting. Like, why do you hear something really loud? And then it stops. And then it just stops. The noise just stops. And a few seconds after that, you'll fall asleep. What I'm describing, so you'll fall asleep, and there's two pathways you could take. If you fall asleep and you didn't do it right, or your body's not in the right, for the lack of a better term, setting, what'll happen is you'll go into a lucid dream. You can't necessarily control it, or you can if you recognize you're dreaming. You'll go into a lucid dream. It's like a normal dream, but you will remember it for sure in the morning, every second of it. If you've been recording, you'll remember every second of this dream.
And recording's like extremely important to this process.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that correct?
Absolutely. If you don't, even if you remember a sentence worth of what your dream had, like TJ farted in my dream. Done.
It's believable.
And eventually you'll start to write paragraphs.
So what's the significance of writing it down? Just like what, do you know why they say to do this, or what's the real significance of doing this?
The real significance is so that it's like training your body to remember dreams more. It's dedicating it to long-term storage.
So like, just like they say, like when you're taking notes or when you're studying, like it's better to write it down than type it down, because writing it, like you're engraving it a little more.
Yeah. So the whole process of you mechanically writing it out and like doing the strokes is better than typing, but typing can be okay. I would say if you wrote it down, let's say that's 100%, I would say typing is about
right.
25%.
But I was just like making the alignment that it's essentially the reason why writing it down is because it helps us ingrain it in your brain that much more.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. So we're on the lucid dream track. So on the lucid dream track, let's say it just plays out like a normal dream, but you'll remember it. And then it gets split off there to you're controlling the dream. Okay? There's a couple ways to control your dream. So if you're a seasoned veteran, nice meme. If you're a seasoned veteran, you could just recognize that you're dreaming. Like you'll remember that you fell asleep and you could recognize you're dreaming. I don't necessarily am able to do that, but there are, like Inception, triggers to know that you're in a dream. Some people recommend throughout the day you look at your wristwatch, right? If you keep looking at your wristwatch in your dream, you'll do that motion and look at your watch, and something weird is always on your wristwatch. Like all the numbers are 12s. And then you could recognize you're dreaming. And as soon as you recognize, once you have your trigger, you're like, oh, I'm dreaming. And then I get a test for this because my trigger is when I'm naked. Because why would I ever be naked walking in a mall? Why would I ever do that? So once you get your trigger, it's immediate. It's immediate. And my favorite thing to do is conjure up superpowers. So I put out my hand like this. And I force push people. There's like someone walking in front of me. I force push them into the wall. They get like So that's the lucid dream track. And if we take a couple steps back, you could go to the out of body experience track.
Yeah, that's all. I was just gonna say, what's the out of body crap you always talk about?
Okay, so out of body experience, I still get freaked out about this because for some reason, and I don't know how to explain it and I haven't looked it up, I get this weird thing. I'll explain it in a second. So the out-of-body experience track is if you did all of those processes right, as soon as you let your brain fall asleep, you'll feel like you're dreaming, but you can't move. And you open your eyes and you're in your room. It's exactly as you left your room. Out-of-body experiences, for those who don't know, are usually described by those who have died for a second and came back. That whole thing when people say, I was looking at myself in third person after the car crash, that's an out-of-body experience. And I've only done an out-of-body experience about 4 times, and I can happily say that it's very real. It is very real. So when when you go down the out-of-body experience track, you're laying there in your bed and you don't know what's up. Everything feels heavy because you're in sleep paralysis. But what your aim is to escape your body. So you're lying there. Yeah. It seems nuts, but I'm telling you, if you follow these fucking steps, you'll get there eventually. So imagine yourself lying there and you're on your back and you know you were on your back before. You open your eyes, you're in your room, it's very dark. If you had a nightlight, that nightlight will be on. If you didn't, it won't be on. But you feel this ethereal presence of yourself. Like you'll feel like, this is why I think ghosts are real. I'll explain to you when I talk about my first out-of-body experience. So people like to use the gravity escape. They're called exits. You could exit your body multiple ways. So I'll describe a couple. So there's the gravity exit where you imagine, because at this point you're stuck in your body. So you imagine the weight of gravity on your chest, and you gradually increase that weight, and eventually you'll feel yourself sink lower and lower into your bed. And then at some point, you'll go, and you fall out. You'll go right through your bed, down onto the floor, and you'll hit your head on the floor. And then you can get up. I don't know anybody else's out-of-body experiences, but mine tend to be zero gravity. And zero gravity is not fucking fun, TJ. It's not flying. Flying is different because you can control it. Zero gravity, you're floating around like a fucking idiot, hitting your head on walls. You have to, like, push yourself so you could get somewhere. I've knocked over my desk. Like, my computer was on my desk, and I just pushed myself off the wall, and I went, yeet, and all of the things on my desk fell on the floor. Okay, so in my first out-of-body experience, it's really odd because, again, you're in your room. You're in your room as you once were.
Right.
And what I did was I opened my window and got out. But as I opened my window and flew out my house,
Sure.
I saw people walking. There's people walking on, you know what my street looks like.
Yeah, so you're saying there's people walking normally, and you're just like,
yeah, and there were
floating.
I'm floating around. There's people walking down the street, up and down. It's pretty populated. In an out-of-body experience, it lasts about 20 minutes, so you don't have much time. But it's a very long 20 minutes. You essentially, again, get superpowers. Like, I'm leaps and bounds over the houses by my neighborhood. And it's interesting, again, it's exactly real life as you left it. So I jump over, and if you Google Maps your fucking neighborhood, it looks like that. When I jumped over, it looks like that.
Yeah.
And then it's so, and the reason why I believe in ghosts is because there were these twins approaching me. Like, they kept reoccurring. They would approach me and try to. It's really fucking weird. The reason why I'm afraid of out-of-body experiences is because the other 3 times I did it, there's always this weird. I could see why people call it a demon, because there's a weird figure standing at the foot of your bed or at the end of my hallway.
What the fuck, dude? This is okay.
Yeah, at the end of the hallway, there's usually people or a person. For me, it's a person, and you could feel the fucking presence. It's like a fucking demon. No joke. At one of the out-of-body experience, the fucking person was right here, and I didn't want to look. I could feel a fucking face this close to my fucking face. It's intense and very scary. And that brings me to trying to... Oh, another exit. I digress. Another exit would be, imagine someone pushing on your head. It's called the rotation exit. So imagine a force right here on the side of your temple, and eventually you'll rotate 180 degrees in your bed, and then you could get up and leave. One of mine, which was interesting, was as if I was stuck in a spider web. So I sat up, but my arms were pinned, and what I had to do was pull, and you could feel like sticky goo on your elbow and your forearm, and you just rip it off. And I put my hands on the bed and push myself out.
So you're telling me all these ways of escaping are the same for everybody?
No, they're always different. I've had
no, not like the
the process,
not like the spider web stuff, but like you fall to your bed.
Yeah.
Or see, my question is how, like how do we know that everybody has those experiences the same way? Like, I'm trying to figure out the words to ask exactly what I'm saying, but like, because everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their own imagination. Like, how do we know that everyone has the same
kind of feeling, like general feeling of,
I guess,
leaving their body,
or experiences of leaving the body? Like, there's only a set, let's say, I don't know, 4 ways to do it. How do we know that? Like, how can I be like, I know it's the same for everybody if it's such an unknown? And it might not be unknown. I'm talking out my ass. Like, how do we know? Like, we don't know much about it. Like,
honestly, I can't say there's.
That's what freaks me out. Is it such an?
I would
it's
imagine
a different unknown, understudied, or we don't know much about it type of topic.
No, honestly, it's a philosophical topic because you can't really explain. You just have to believe it until you do it. Like, like I was a skeptic. Like this won't fucking work until I fucking did it, and it's exactly as it's described. Maybe the nuances are different, like the noise or the pain of the rollover signal or the way you escape. But one thing's for certain. You leave your body and it's exactly as you left your room. I tried to do it during the day, but I can never. I've tried it. I try it all the time. Every time I go to sleep, I try it, and it's really difficult to do it. But you get it every once in a while. And sometimes what I noticed and what our friend Connor Tour, he could, or was it Cameron? I don't remember which one I was talking to. It could have been Cameron. No, it was Connor. It was definitely Connor. Connor came back from a workout. He was very exhausted, like beyond exhausted. And as soon as he lied down, his body fell asleep immediately, and his brain was still awake. And then he accidentally did an out-of-body experience. He never left his body. His feet were still stuck. But he told me that he sat up and was in his room, and there were little fucking acid trip gremlins running around throwing shit. You know, like he was in Alice in Wonderland. There's like cats floating, there's like clouds, there's a sea of like fucking like there was an ocean around his bed. He explained this to me, and I'm like, that sounds about fucking right, dude. And that's why it's very interesting, and if you are totally down for cool, like fantastical stuff, this is what you need to do. But there's a couple caveats. So you need to understand, once you get good, there's no waking up. There's no waking up unless you fucking force it, and I'll explain that in a second. As nightmares are nightmares, you're stuck in it for the long run, right? Good dreams are good dreams. You're stuck in it for the long run. So, to a point. So, like at this point, at me right now, if I go down the lucid dream track, I could wake myself up anytime I want. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm done with this, and I sit up, and I think about that, and I sit up in real life, right? As for if you're in an out-of-body experience, that's a different story. So remember when I was talking about breathing. Breathing is very important because, again, this is the only voluntary and involuntary action that can be both those things. Sure. It's the only action that can be both those things. The only way to escape is to breathe heavily, because at sleep paralysis, your body is very rhythmic, and you don't want to disturb it or else you'll wake up. Notice every time you guys have a nightmare, you wake up panting or sweating, right? It's that increased heart rate that disturbs your REM sleep, or that increased breathing rate that disturbs your REM sleep. And if you notice, once you get good at what I'm talking about, you'll never be afraid in your dream. You'll be afraid mentally, but your body doesn't do anything about it. You're not breathing harder. You're very calm, but you're freaking the fuck out up here. You're freaking the fuck out, like, get me the fuck out of here. But it doesn't happen unless you go, you got to do that, or else you will not wake up. And the other caveat is you start to remember a lot of things. So like deja vu, I don't think that happens too often for me, at least, but the other thing is your dreams are reality now. If one of your dreams was like normal and you hung out with your friends, you will remember that, and that'll be your memory. Whether it was a dream or not, you won't fucking know. Like things, the difference between them is no longer there. Like you can't, unless it's absolutely ridiculous, like you just got shot, it won't happen. And another thing about getting good at dreaming is your brain doesn't really know how to create experiences that you've never had. So I tend to be in a war in my dreams. So there's a shootout, I get hit, I get punched, right? All right. So your brain tends to not be able to figure that kind of thing out, but it's very good at faking it. So if you've never been shot before, your brain you won't be shot in your dream, and you won't feel that feeling of being shot, but your brain will be very good at mixing certain feelings that you've had before. Like, let's say if you nicked yourself with like a cutoff wheel, and that pain plus being punched and plus let's say you pricked yourself with a needle, like it puts all three of those things together and you'll feel that. It's really interesting.
This is completely off topic, but with what you just said of like pricking yourself and needles and stuff, I don't know. I had a dream last night that I was doing something, and you saying that just reminded me of it. But I was like doing something with someone, and they were like putting needles in my hand, and I was like watching it, and it felt very real. I guess that was, like you said, I've experienced that at one point, so I was able to come up with it. I wasn't lucid dreaming or anything like that. Just brought up a memory of my dream last night, oddly enough. But
and these sensations are very real. They are very real to you, because if you think about it, all our sensations are nerve endings being stimulated. So if in a dream it stimulates that nerve ending, if in the dream it decides that nerve is going to fire, you're feeling it. You felt that. Like, it may not have happened, but you fucking felt it. Like, or if you're I'm usually underwater a lot as well. Like, I like it because you get to breathe underwater. It's pretty cool. Like, I like fish. But other things with lucid dreaming, I think most people's goals are to lucid dream versus out-of-body experience, because out-of-body experiences are daunting and like very, very scary, if you will. Like, think about that you've left your body and you're experiencing something that may not even be real. Like, I sound like a fucking lunatic right now, like explaining all of this, but I want someone to try this, and out of the, how many people watch this usually? 20K? Out of the 20K people, if one of you could just comment and say, I did it, it'll like, because I need more confirmation, because I feel like I'm going crazy whenever I explain something like this, because it's just, for me,
you're a minority with
exactly.
it.
For me, I would use the analogy, and I'm not trying to shit on anyone. This is just an analogy, but it's for me and religion, right? Like, I don't necessarily believe in a religion, right? But this I believe in. Like, it's if you have the same mindset as me and you think religion doesn't necessarily exist, then, or like a deity exists, then what I'm explaining is exactly the same fucking thing in my head. Like you left your body and you saw ghosts. Like, it's exactly the same thing. And all of you have at least had a dream that you remember vividly. Like, I could pull up here.
You have them like written down?
I have one written down, I think. So, and I am 100% convinced that anyone who has written anything, any book, any screenplay, any fucking movie, they are dreamers. Because all my dreams are fantastic. Right? They are fucking fantastic, and they don't make any sense. Like, I remember I had a dream where I was like part of a rebel group, but they were all hobos. It was a rebel group to overthrow the, if anyone played Fallout 3, they would know what a Mirelurk king is. It's like a dude with like floppy arms, and they look like fish people. Do you know what how would I describe it? It, like, you watch Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Do you remember that deep sea diver dude?
Yeah, that walks to the big. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, it's like that, except with a fish head.
Okay.
But like a swamp monster's fish head.
Sure.
So we were all bums, panhandling and getting information for our organization. We were being paid in bread. there was a little shack and it had all they were gold, TJ. Gold, crispy bread. About the size of this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all the bread bowls, like the fucking baguettes, like the big fucking sandwich bread,
Okay.
like hot dog bun,
Okay.
like just bread. We were being paid in bread, and these swamp monsters, had like a kingdom on top of the island. So the setting is beautiful. So there's floating rocks held up by stalagmites, right? Floating rocks about the size of, let's say, Hawaiian Islands. So about the size of a Hawaiian island, about the same distance of the thing.
Okay.
You could see off into the horizon. The ocean was glowing green, like an aura, like the northern lights.
Sure.
And fucking, if you look down, you see caverns that just go deep within the ocean. And what else happened? Oh, we were all on the it was very foresty. It wasn't very city like, but it was foresty, but it had villages. So we were all sitting panhandling, and then the hobo alert came like turned on, and I was looking off over the cliff, looking into the ocean, and like the hobo alert came on, and you just see hobos clad in armor storming the castle. And fucking, I don't know what happened next, but I'm sure I got stabbed and I woke up. I'm sure that's what happened. Like, dreaming is fantastic. I need to find I need to find my notes. Hold up. Do you have any dreams that you remember? Okay.
No, man, not nearly as cool as that.
I mean, anything. Like, it's hypothesized that dreams have a purpose. So people wonder, okay, we dream, but what's the fucking purpose?
I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's like substantial or anything that's like I don't know. I don't
know. Okay, so as I look for this, I'll explain what people think dreams are the purpose of. So like, we're all humans are curious and wonder what the purpose of everything is. So what's the purpose of a dream, right? It's hypothesized that it helps you in real life. Sometimes you have dreams that are very action and could possibly happen in real life. So I remember driving TJ's car to some 86 festival, right? Subi Fest. We went to Subi Fest, and I was driving his car. I almost fucking yeeted into the back of a fucking Subaru. But I
remember that.
But I looked into my side mirror, and what the guy behind me did was he pulled off to the side. He went into the shoulder. And I was like, that's fucking smart. And the only way to get good at something like that is to practice it. And when are you going to ever fucking practice that? Like, why would you ever want to practice that? But the what people hypothesize dreams to do is they help you compensate for something that you can't necessarily practice. So in a dream that happened twice, where I was coming up way too hot behind someone and I just veered off into the shoulder. And what do you know, after the second time of having that dream, 3 days later, I had to do it. And I was prepared. I fucking was going way too hot. I veered off into the shoulder. Never done it in real life. But in a dream, I did it twice. And I had enough information to know what to do. So if you don't like dreams, there's a use for them. And people hypothesize, like, let's think about our Homo sapien ancestors, right? Homo erectus, right? Imagine two cavemen, right? One had a dream about fighting a raptor and one didn't. Both of them ended up on the same day attacked by a raptor. Which one do you think is more likely to survive?
Or the one that had the dream about the raptor.
Exactly. So that's what people hypothesize dreams' purposes are. And I still don't know where the fuck my notes are. Memos. Things to remember. Dreams. Oh, fuck. Okay. Do you see?
Jesus, that's an essay, dude.
That's an essay, dude. Okay, long story. I don't know if they can see this, but I'm gonna put it in the fucking thing.
It's gonna be out of focus. They're not gonna see that.
Really?
Yeah, it's not on autofocus.
No, okay.
Yeah, you don't want it to. It's true set.
Rip to the YouTube. But essentially, this is my novel. I'm gonna write this book. Nobody steal it. Trademark TM. Bam. But so this dream was particularly interesting because it had like, long story short, I'm gonna give them the short version. So there are 13 immortals that take a handful of humans every cycle, if you will, every cycle into this transcendental plane where they mess with them. They challenge people's morality, challenge their humanity, right?
Sure.
And if they fail, the immortal fucking kills them. Get fucked, right? So one scene that I remember is a dude was trying to escape the plane, and he threw a spear towards the, I want to say like exit kind of thing. He threw a spear to try and take out one of the immortals. The immortal got mad as fuck, took the spear, went yeet, right from the shoulder down to the fucking thing, piked into the floor. That guy's fucked, dead. And essentially, there was another immortal that faked being human, and he was in a wheelchair. Every time someone made fun of his wheelchair, get fucked, right? I remember what I did was, and if what I did was there was a female immortal that was trying to trick you into doing something immoral, right? And there was another immortal that looked very depressed, and it was very interesting, like the dream, how all of these characters had different personalities. So what I did was I got the favor of two of the immortals, and then I became one. Like, it switches places, and they go on to a different plane of existence. It's really cool. My dreams are really cool, Teach.
I'm getting mind fucked over here.
Too many things. So to recap, sit still, don't fucking move. Number 2, wait till you hear the fucking noise, then go to sleep. Number 3, exit your body, however which way. Just imagine exiting. You'll be good. Number 4, have fun. Don't be scared. Oh, number 5, if you're afraid, breathe heavily so you escape.
Or my way, just don't do it.
Fuck you, TJ. No, actually, I tried to coach him. Him into doing it, and
like to the point where like we would have a sleepover, and I would lay there,
and I would
talk to like Calvin would just wait for me to like and I'd get like 10 minutes, and I'd be like I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'd stop. Like,
because I tried to coach him, but he didn't go for it. Rip.
I couldn't. Maybe no.
It really helps if you have like sleeping problems too. If you just
I do have sleeping problems.
Yeah, but you're afraid of.
Yeah,
dying.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I tried and I dramatically failed. But hey, if you guys want to give it a shot,
give it a shot, please. I encourage you.
Encourage it. I hear it's pretty fun. It sounds like a great time, but I'm just a really big pansy with that stuff, like dramatically. So, like, just not for me.
Is that it? Oh, we have to do this again. Thank you, Tuner Crate.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Shanksus.
Tuner Crate.
This is a good box this time.
They're putting food on the plate. This is the Hunt & Co. monthly box. So if you want limited Hunt & Company merch, be sure to check it out. Links are always down below. Always check that description because you guys get discounts all the time. So be sure to check that out. Also, Movement Watches always providing the nice, affordable watches. So huge thank you to our sponsors.
New drop, Hunt & Co. socks. Actually, that was this one. But new drop, backpacks. I mean, new things.
New things right now on huntandcompany.com. Be sure to check that out before they all get got. Before they get got, Dude, are you going to put a pop socket on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you have pop sockets now?
Fuck yeah. I have them.
Bruh.
I'm like, I didn't want to be a part of that, but I'm going to live that now.
Hey,
so,
dude, $1 million idea. Jump on that shit. Hey, grab one and send me a picture on Twitter.
There you go. Should we do fidget spinners? Is it too late for that? To do like a 500, just like 500 for next month.
Dude, you could do a fidget spinner.
I
How would you make it?
Just
I feel like that'd be a huge meme. I mean, you could do 5. You'll easily sell.
yeah, but
500.
like it's late. I'm late to join that
The meme?
movement. Yeah,
No, it's not. Actually, it is kind of.
it's very late. But
It's very late.
I was playing. Sabrina bought one last night,
And you were playing with it. Hey, just do it. I don't think you're that late.
but it wouldn't come out till next month, so I'd be a month late.
Yeah, no.
Like it'd be literally
Fidget
a
spinners
month.
are still a good meme.
I don't know. Anyways, bros, thank you for watching this podcast.
Thank you. Peace out. And
Goodbye, my bros.
Watch again. Thank you. We'll talk about Benedict instead.